What up? I'm Dalton, I'm 26, and I'm living financially free.
What up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
So the beginning was kind of a lie. That's right, get clickbaited. Although I'm not 100% financially free at this very moment, there are some pretty important stats that go alongside of expenses when it comes to financial freedom. For an example, let's take a look at the main household expenses. On this list, you can see a breakdown of the 10 major categories of household expenses along with the percentage of income people are allocating towards each expense on average. Now, it is my goal personally, and frankly what I believe everybody's goal should be, is to have relatively passive income that can offset all of these expenses, so that way you could be completely financially free and be able to pursue whatever you want to pursue in life. Believe it or not, at 26 years old, I've already eliminated most major expenses on this list, and I have plans moving forward in order to eliminate the rest. What I will say, to get to the point that I'm at right now, it has required a number of different sacrifices and a complete lifestyle change in order to adapt to how I could set myself up financially. So I think it's universally accepted as to why people want to achieve financial freedom and the benefits that come alongside of it. However, I think most people actually can achieve financial freedom at a much earlier time frame than they do, right? You're working your whole life to retirement, you're working your job, and it essentially puts you in your grave, which I just fundamentally don't agree with. You see, I think a lot of it comes down to the motivation you have behind wanting to achieve financial freedom. And that's where I've been able to propel myself ahead of most of my peers at this time. So for myself, it all stemmed around when my father passed away when I was a sophomore in high school. It completely changed the way that I thought about money management and my time, right? Because here's a guy who was working his whole life and worked pretty much until the day that he died, not really expecting that his time was expiring. And had he done things differently, I would have wished that I had spent more time with him, or he was able to take time off of work to spend with his children, his family, and really be able to create more memories. Now for me, I don't want to repeat any of those mistakes that were made, and if I do end up dying young, I'll be able to have done with my life exactly what I want to do. It unlocks the ability to really pursue your passions and achieve the goals that you want to achieve while making the memories that mean the most. I'm not saying that you need to go and off your father in order to have the motivation to become financially free, but what I'm saying is you should probably take a step back, look at the direction of your life, how you're spending money, how you're accumulating wealth, and see what the trajectory looks like, and try and figure out if it makes the most sense for you. So at 26 years old, here is exactly where I'm at in my financial freedom journey. So the average housing expense for Americans is $1,855, and this is where I'm actually able to save the most amount of money in any expense category because I'm paying next to nothing right now, and let me explain how I did that. Well, when I first graduated college, I decided to live with a roommate to save a little bit of money, but then I realized after the year that we had lived together, it was more beneficial for me to actually move home in order to maximize my savings, so that way I could use it for a future down payment on a property. So that's exactly what I did. I went and I lived with my girlfriend and her mother for about a year. And in that year, I actually accumulated enough money to put and use as a down payment. Now, my intentions were to move into the duplex, which is what you see behind me right now, finally living here. But it actually took me about a year to renovate this property. So I lived at home essentially for 2 years. I wasn't rent free, but I was essentially paying next to nothing for rent, which was super nice. Because I was able to just keep shoveling away every single paycheck that I had back into that. So now, fast forward to today, I live in this duplex. We're renting out the bottom unit here, and it pretty much covers the entire mortgage. I think there's the difference of a couple $100. So on average, what I'm spending monthly just to live in this duplex is probably about $400 a month, and that's including utilities and everything that comes alongside of it. Next category on the list was transportation, which on average costs Americans $913 per month. Now, where I'm able to maximize my savings here is by owning a vehicle and completely cutting out that cost. So I own my vehicle outright. I think on average, people are spending $700 a month on their car payment. And I will, and mark my words, I will never have a car payment ever for the rest of my life. It is one of the worst loans that you can take out. And it just, honestly, it makes no sense. So I'll never do that. On top of that, there's things like gas, repairs, maintenance that go along with it. But because I own my truck and I rarely drive, you see, I work for a remote company. It's not like I'm driving into an office or anything. My gas and my transportation expense is essentially nothing. So I would say, and probably chart that up to literally being just about $50 to $100 a month. I guess I'm still paying insurance, so it's closer to the $100 a month. But again, no car payment at all, and I'm rarely driving, so I'd say I fill up my gas tank like once every 2 months, which is just crazy. All right, so food expense is another one that's relatively high. So you have $691 a month that the average American is spending on food, and I like to eat. So it's a very tough category for me because I do probably go out to eat a little bit more than I should, but I'm getting a lot better at it, and I've made strides to try and save more money in this category. And what I've actually tried doing in the past is spending as little as possible in a week. I was actually going to make a video about like the cheapest grocery budget you can possibly have, and I really just failed on that video. But anyways, that is one area that I'm working on. What am I doing now? Well, I'm actually strategically going online and shopping, and I'm picking my groceries before I go into the store. I won't get sidetracked. I can just go pick them up. It actually saves me time, which essentially saves me money because I can work on other things, but it also allows me to see how much money I'm spending before I check out. It's very tough because, you know, everybody likes to just have things prepared for them and they can just go out and enjoy a nice meal. But I'd probably say that I'm still saving a decent amount of money in that area because of these new principles that I've been introducing. One thing that's going to propel yourself towards financial freedom so much quicker is building out more reliable income streams. So for me personally, what I'm doing right now, working a 9-to-5 job, I have this real estate income that's now finally coming in. I've invested in the stock market, so I've got money appreciating. I've got dividends coming in. I've also, you know, been doing side businesses. I do stuff on YouTube. I've bought and sold things on the side. I also do affiliate marketing. So right there, that's like 5 solid streams of income that I can rely on every month in order to offset a lot of those expenses that I already have. All of that being said, you establish a side hustle that's able to offset the rest of your living expenses. Well, guess what? Now you're shoveling all of your money that you were making from your 9-to-5 job that typically goes into each one of those expenses, and you're saving every single dollar. You're able to invest almost every single dollar, and you're able to exponentially grow every single dollar. You could put it into real estate. You could put it into the stock market. You could put your money and leverage it in ways that's going to make you more money. And so to get to that point, by the time you're 26, think about how much you can get that money to grow. Now, all of this does come with a bit of an opportunity cost, because maybe when I was establishing my business and building YouTube, I would see my friends going out and partying and drinking and having a lot of fun and doing all these things that, you know, I kind of wanted to do, but I knew what it would take to be successful and get me to the point that I'm at today. And so I would say no to a lot of those things. And, you know, maybe at times be a little bit upset that I wasn't doing that stuff, but I was laser focused and knew exactly what I wanted to be doing. You see, I actually do really enjoy the grind and the space that I'm at right now and trying to develop and build myself that financial freedom. But it definitely can take a toll on friendships and how your peers view you and a lot of those things. So that's one thing to keep in mind with it. The other thing is your day-to-day is really mundane. It's like the same thing. I pretty much wake up, start working, work all day, work on YouTube after work, work, go to sleep, 2 a.m., wake up, do it all again. And that's kind of what it's like day to day. And I also have a very hard time saying no, which I've run into more recently after I finally fixed up renovations and things like that. When I was having a little bit more free time, I wanted to allocate it to YouTube, but I felt guilty and I felt like I was abandoning my friends and a lot of these other things going on, where now I'm in the mindset where I need to get better at saying no in order to achieve and get to the next step that I want to get to financially. And that's what I've been struggling with lately. So right now, that is where I'm at in my journey. That's what it looks like to be 26 on your way to financial freedom. Thank you for checking out this video, guys. If you want to see and watch me progress towards financial freedom and take you along with me, definitely subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.